Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Talkin Kop. I'm Gav. Keith, Emma, and Seany join me tonight, Sunday the 22nd of September, as we look back at Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 0 at Anfield, and look forward to, I think it's West Ham during the week in the League Cup, and anything else that's gone on over the weekend that the lads want to chat about. I'm going to get straight into it. I'm going to come to you, Emma. And I'm going to say we return to the scene of the crime from last week. Anfield, 3 o'clock against a team that may or may not struggle this season. And this one went a hell of a lot better, Emma, overall.
Yeah, I still haven't watched the Nottingham Forest game. Didn't think there was any point in watching it. So I thought they were excellent yesterday. I think Bournemouth are a better side than Nottingham Forest, but only for I won't say what that Irish unit of measurement is, but your man Semenya was only just offside,
Yeah.
and maybe could have panned out a little bit different at the start, but I don't think the end result would have been any different.
Okay. Shawnee, how are you? 3-0. As Emmett says, they're a little bit shaky at the start, but overall, Liverpool looked like they played in second, sometimes third gear, but had one or two more to go if they needed to. And it was a nice way to finish off the week after disappointment at Nottingham Forest, or home to Nottingham Forest, but a win at Milan, who've won the Milan Derby tonight, by the way, and a win there tomorrow. It was a nice way to top off the week.
Yeah, I'm going to shock you. I actually didn't think we were that good yesterday, to be honest.
Don't think we're amazing. That's what I'm saying. I think it was second,
No,
third
like
gear,
I
and then there was more to
genuinely,
go.
yeah, obviously we're going to get into it in depth, but the second half annoyed the piss out of me. Like fucking Kelleher was man of the match. The second half was our best player, and just obviously look a good result. And in the grand scheme of things, it's good that last week's game against Forest looks like a blip, and that's just a day where nobody turned up. But like, I don't know. I just feel like the control on football has kind of deserted us a little bit. I felt like that was a bit helter skelter at times yesterday when it didn't need to be, and then even in the closing stages of Milan during the week, I felt like we were just fucking needlessly careless in possession.
I agree.
Um, and it annoyed the piss out of me, to be honest with you, because I'm all in now on the whole control thing, and I think I just think we need to be a little bit better in terms of fucking ball retention. Of course, I'm nitpicking. We go out and win the game 3-0. But I just, the second half annoyed me yesterday. Kelleher was way too active when he didn't need to be. And look, one of them goes in and it's a different game, but it doesn't. He was fucking excellent in the second half yesterday. And we're blessed to have a backup keeper like him where you don't even flinch when he's named in the starting lineup. But yeah, it did. I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't want to sound like a fucking pessimistic dour bleeding, but the second half of that game in particular annoyed the piss out of me yesterday. I didn't think we were great, and I even watched it back. And normally, when you watch back games, knowing the score and the context, you kind of probably, because when you're watching the game live and direct, you're probably a little bit more on edge. I still thought the extended highlights we looked, sloppy, I'd say, in the second half. And look, I expect performances like Forest going forward, they're going to be dotted in, and I expect us to come up against bigger challenges than the likes of Bournemouth and Forest, and we will struggle. But I won't lie, I was just like, when it was obvious, there's like lovely 3 points and out the gap, but I think 3-0 probably flattered us a little bit after the second half. I didn't think we were great at all.
Can I just staying with you? You know, you're all in, and you're all in on the control and stuff, and I think most people are starting to get into that, and I think that's going to reflect in the atmosphere at Anfield as the season goes on, because people going there are starting to realise it's not going to be like crash bang wallop all the time, and it does be at times. But this is where I am in it, and I'm glad you touched on Milan. If you want to control a game, that's absolutely fine. You know, we win 3-0, perfect. But where I am on it is, if you want to control a game, by all means control it, but don't allow it to get to the stage where it's very kind of sloppy here and sloppy there. It's just a sloppy game from both teams. Just do your job in a controlling way, and don't give them a sniff of anything. Is that where you are in it? Because I noticed that in Milan as well. Is that where you are in it?
Yeah,
Like, is that?
yeah, no, well, yeah, 100%. Because it's just kind of like, and I said it in a group, and it was only 2-1 in the Milan game, and there was 20 minutes, and the game was petering out, and I'd be like, it'd be great if you could just do a bit of the control and stuff there, because I actually thought, I'm surprised they won tonight, because that's the worst AC Milan team I've seen in fucking God knows how long, and that's not taken away. It's good to bounce back and go there and get a win, but I just thought, like, it's something I haven't associated with the team that I've watched since the start of the season, that we just be sloppy and careless in possession, and that's what fucking drove me mad watching Liverpool last year, and in particular, is that, and I was thinking, this makes it a little bit hard to believe, but we gave up a few chances yesterday. And
but I don't think that came from brilliant football from Bournemouth. I think that came from us being, we might pass that, or we might chase that. And I'm not trying to down the team. I'm just saying I know where you're coming from. If you're just a little bit more assertive on the ball, that sloppiness goes away. And, you know, those 15, 16 shots or whatever Bournemouth have, or whatever it might be. I think
look, if people are throwing in the chat there that we took our foot off the gas, and understandably, but you don't have to. You can take your foot off the gas and not fucking go to shy. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's a way it goes.
I'm with you to an extent. Yeah, I am with you to an extent. The Milan side ain't good, but I'm just hoping Pulisic scored or done something tonight in the Milan Derby, because it'll mean you get a big mention in the next Copa America on TSN. Canada's
well.
flagship network. Brilliant.
He scored tonight. Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah.
So in the next Copa, if America are in there, all you're going to see across the screen is Pulisic scored in the 24-25 Milan Derby. And that's all you're going to get. Keith, I want to go on to important things in football, but me and you were having a lovely chat before the show there about a letter from America by the Proclaimers.
Yeah.
And we're just having song. What a song! But we were just talking about, do you sing it with a Scottish accent? Do you go all in, or do you just go with the chorus for the Scottish bit? I wanted to throw it out there to the chat.
I think you have to go with the accent. You know, I'd love to know what the chat think about it, and the panel. Call us the panel.
I love when you can hear someone's accent, especially Irish and Scottish, when they're singing.
Do you?
Too many people singing an American accent, singing their own accent.
Okay. Geez, very upset, Emma. We've upset Emma.
Jesus.
You know?
A bit of light-hearted banter, and
feels the music
taking the bleeding wind out of that, hasn't he?
Okay, so I was listening to a podcast with the lads called The Original Rude Boys the other day.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I listened to some of their stuff. And your man raps in an Irish accent. I actually think it's
sexy.
Sounds really good. Not sexy. Fucking hell.
That was a good. I know the podcast is talking about. Yeah, it was very good. It was decent.
But you haven't heard from them in a while. You haven't heard much of the original.
That like call a spade, that bleeding poxy. Now come here.
Any listening, no DC fellas, you know, like what are they?
To be honest,
I think he's turned on Fontaines.
I do actually think he's turned on Fontaines.
Because you're putting them on a lot of your socials now.
I'll put my hand up, and I'm a bit a bigger man than me. I went early on the Fontaines. I've had a little look at them, and the latest album's good, and they're a really good live band actually. But if we're gonna get into it, but that
be doing weddings in 3 years.
The fucking pony. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, like honestly,
not talking about the accent when he's rapping in the accent. I think it sounds.
Yeah, good. It's like when you used to bring some young player of fucking CBS Jobstown onto the den and you start rapping in front of fucking, what's that man's name?
Ray Darcy
and us in the talk.
Zig and Zag.
Yeah, fucking brutal. But
CBS
Kneecap are fucking brilliant.
Kneecap are deadly, yeah.
Is this the ones that have a film now?
Yeah.
And the film is, but I tell you what, they're from West Belfast, and they're not only rapping in their accents, they're rapping with a couple of focal as well in Australia, and they are the bollocks, and the film is brilliant as well. Definitely worth watching. But come here. I'm sure 1 out of 3 boys out of the original real boys aren't watching this podcast, and I know there's probably a few from the north in our city who might feel I'm doing them at the service here, but my God, there's a reason why they haven't done that in 6 or 7 years, and I think one of the lads is, and no offence to anyone that does work in retail, I think your man's ironing t-shirts in River Island or something. That's fucking brilliant.
Just standing in the middle of River Island with an ironing board.
In the back. He's in the back.
Going around with
Don't let him out.
Yeah. So,
Oh, holy Jesus. Just
Yeah.
walk around with a trouser press on his back. Oh,
yeah,
who
great,
needs,
great,
who needs
great
what done here?
podcast, though. Great podcast.
Great podcast. Well done, lads. Despite what Shawnee said about you. Anyway, my view on it is that when you're singing Letter from America, just sing it normally, but the fast bit in the middle, you can go all Scottish on it.
No. You have to do the chorus. It has to be the chorus. You can't sing the chorus in your own and then throw a Scottish accent on the middle. You have to go all in.
Right, well, all in. We'll do what you want. I just thought of that because me and Keith love talking about music and stuff like that. And Emmet just feels the game's gone. Game's gone completely in the music business.
The industry, the industry's letting them down.
Shawnee's just telling them all to fuck out the River Oil and start ironing t-shirts. So anyway, is there anybody out there in a band? Best of luck with it. Best of luck with it.
On the Arena circle with Keith Duffy and Brian McFadden.
And if anyone's watching from the Fontaines,
they were on it the week before.
He was only messing. Keith, Emma's delighted with the result. Shawnee points out that we do take our foot off the pedal to the point where it gets very, very sloppy. But it was how important. Oh Jesus, we're on to Damien Dempsey now. I'm going to tell you, Carl, I'm with you. I'm actually with you on that. But Keith, how important
you don't like Damien Dempsey?
No.
I don't mind a bit of Damo. I'll go see him a few times. I like that.
I think he puts it on a bit.
He does a bit, yeah.
Okay, well, we just know the football in the head.
He does.
Sounds
Have
like
a listen to Industrial Skill. Great song.
Sounds like he's getting tortured by the UDF.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Old school. We're going rolling it back now, aren't we? All the old school
the back,
stuff.
this is like reeling in the years,
And for anyone who's
1978.
listening in, we'll actually have a long time red Jerry Adams on the podcast.
Yeah, but
face and voice distorted because he's saying.
But pixelated.
Yeah.
I'll get the
Back in the
pixelated
80s.
software downloaded during the week. Right, Keith. Back to the football, although I'd love to stay on what we were just on, to be honest with you, for 40 minutes and then leg it. But it was important, Keith, regardless. We looked through players and we looked through performance in a minute, but it was important to get this done because last week was not good against Forest. We showed we were a bit of what we were about against Milan for the vast majority. A poor Milan side, I agree, but we dominated them. And yeah, there's a couple of early scares and stuff like that, but overall, Keith, yesterday, I think we were better on the ball when we needed to be. We were more incisive. The movement was better. Finishing was good. We created chances, proper chances. And it was just important to just nearly put the Forest thing to bed by winning that yesterday.
Yeah, I sort of agree with what the lads have said. I think it was important, to bounce back and to get the early goal. And we just nearly sauntered into a 3-0 lead. Do you know what I mean? Certainly into a 2-0. I think the goals came very quickly, didn't they? One after another. And I think that complacency might have settled in. I want to see us controlling the game more. I don't think we controlled it very well. But maybe it is still the effects of the Klopp team, you know what I mean? But who knows? The important thing is we won. I thought Kelleher had a lot to do. But we're lucky on him. We're lucky we have him as a backup because I'm not going to lie, Alisson has missed 40 bleeding games for Liverpool in the last few years, and that's just bleeding too many games to be missing. So the fact we have a keeper who can come in, and as Shawnee said, man of the match, certainly in the second half, you know what I mean? We're blessed that we have that luxury. It'll be interesting to see what we do there going forward. But look, I get the grievances with it, but a 3-0 win, I'll take it, and we move on. Nunez gets his first goal, obviously, of the season. A great goal. We'll talk about him later, no doubt. And Luis Diaz continues a good start to the season for him. So, yeah, take the positives, acknowledge the negatives, and hopefully over time, when the team starts settling down, we'll see a more steady and composed Liverpool that can control a game when they go, a couple of goals ahead. But we'll wait and see. If that's what he's selling, if that's what Slot is selling, that's what we want to see. But we can't be told that we're going to be more controlling and then play helter-skelter. So, it's one I'm looking forward to see playing out.
It's Emmet. We mentioned Kelleher there. The lads both have mentioned Kelleher. He has one ropey moment. first half, and then he just decides, no, I'll just be deadly, and he was deadly. And you know what, a lot came about the comments over the international break with regards to him being asked out straight about his club future, and he went, look, boom, 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 very straight, very matter of fact, and you know, everyone kind of knows where he stands. But I think it shows how professional he is, that he just comes out, goes into that game, and just does his job. There's no kind of sulking, there's no kind of, whatever's going on, doesn't affect him on the pitch. And we're past the point now, Emma, aren't we, where we go, oh, Kelleher's playing, oh, Jesus, what's going to happen? We just go, oh, yeah, Kelleher's playing. Because he's being that good for us, in fairness.
I was probably past that point before the League Cup final in 2022. He's been a consistent performer for us for a long time now. But yeah, he's trained with Alisson for the last 5-6 years, day in, day out. I think he's probably a little bit more composed with the ball at his feet than Alisson is. I don't know, maybe that's from him being an outfield player when he was younger. But yeah, there's no as soon as the team sheet goes up, you don't bat an eyelid when you see him in there. And Seany's right, like that save yesterday off the line when it rebounded off the crossbar, hit Gakpo and was going in. Like the reflex on that. Was it Trent? Sorry, I thought it was Gakpo. Yeah, unbelievable. But look, it's just a shame that I felt a little bit sorry for him during the international break when he said that it looks like the club have decided to go in another direction. I would have put the house on him replacing Alisson when Alisson goes. But let's see what this other Marmashashvili is it?
Yeah, he's a level up. He's a level up. Yeah. He is a level up. Yeah, he is, definitely. Trust me.
But look, Kelleher deserves to be playing first team football. He gets. I reckon he gets into first choice goalkeeper from anywhere from 5th to 10th, 5th all the way down to the bottom of the Premier League. I wouldn't put him anywhere below the 10th place in the Premier League. He starts.
I think Arsenal, City, Liverpool. After that, I think he starts for everyone else.
Well, the funny thing is, I was
maybe not Villa, Villa because Martinez is.
I was listening to it might have been a reaction show. It was the Anfield rap anyway, and I forget who was saying on it, but apologies, I can't remember who it was. His name will come to you in a minute. And he was saying, and it was a good point. He was like, that fella is a £40 million goalkeeper. And he said, no one will convince me otherwise. And I was kind of sitting there going, is 40 a bit high? Does it feel a bit high because he's back up to Alisson? And then the point he was trying to make, the point he was trying to make was, I don't know whether Shawnee's falling there or the camera's falling. It was the camera, unfortunately. It would have been amazing if Shawnee just fell over.
Go to Damien Dempsey's wrecking the gas. Not happy.
There's an iron at the coming through the window there. Yeah, man on his way off.
Getting outside the bedroom there, singing in his dulcet tones. He is.
Wrapping up the window.
But, you know, we talk about, we could play from anywhere from 5th to whatever, right? And the point this guy was making was, why do we look down that low from? Why isn't he or his agent looking around Europe going, right, I want a team in Italy, France, Germany, Spain, or even England that want to be in the Champions League. Not necessarily winning it, but want to be in the Champions League. I think that's where he has to look. I don't think he should be going and saying to himself, Brighton are a good side. Brighton are a good side, but what's realistically going to get into a Champions League? No. That's probably below. And I think it might be, lads. I honestly think it might be. I'm watching them yesterday, and I'm saying to myself, honestly, if he's playing for Liverpool for the last 5 or 6 years, right, or 4 years, wherever it is, and puts in the performance he's putting in, we're not having a discussion about getting a new goalkeeper. And that's what makes him 40 million. And that's what makes him, he should be looking to play in the Champions League. Never mind 5th to 10th or 12th.
Somewhere like Dortmund or Leipzig.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Or going to like a Marseille, or going to, any of these. And when the guy made the point, I was looking going, it's actually hard to argue with that. It's hard to argue with 40 million. And it's hard to argue with saying he should be playing in a team that plays Champions League football.
You're probably not getting 40 million from one of those
only
teams,
only because of the contract situation now
in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Only because of the contract situation. Do you know
Well,
what I mean?
no, but
Because
the continental
Well,
teams
no,
don't offer you.
I mean,
No.
even they don't go big. Like Italy loan players. I don't. Maybe Spain. I don't know. I would love to see him playing in Champions League club, but I just think the biggest money will come from the Premier League
yeah, it probably will.
for us and possibly for him as well in terms of wage because like the chap's only on 10 grand a week. Only on 10 grand a week.
Mm.
Like I mean, if we were, I have a feeling that we're going to allow him to just see out his contract because why haven't we tied him down and even given him 40 grand a week
Yeah,
for what
he
he's done?
certainly earns it.
Tying him down to a longer contract, which will up his value when it does come to selling him. But I think we're just going to allow him walk out the door.
How do we know with what he said over the international break that you haven't gone to him and said, we'll offer you a new deal till 2028, and he went, fuck off?
Well, here, let's call a fucking spade a spade. The only team he know that came in for him was Forest, and they offered 7 million and that fucking stock in Matt Turner. So he shouldn't have absolutely any issue with being fucking told now you're staying here, staying put here because that's the rosary.
Yeah.
That's being respectful to their offer. So yeah, look, listen, we're paying your wage, kid. That's just the way it is at the end of the day. Do I feel sorry for him? Not really now because he didn't push for a move
Yeah.
when he probably should have. And he probably should have the last few years. But I think he knows he's gonna play more football than everyone else expects. There's a Premier League start from there out of blue.
Yeah.
He's gonna start again midweek, and I wouldn't be surprised if he started a couple of those Champions League games.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, it's great having him. And this is not an Adrian situation or a Carrier situation or a Mignolet situation. He's the best second choice goalkeeper you could ask for. And I think when Alisson does eventually leave and Mamadashvili comes in, we're gonna have some job bringing in a number two that is as able as Kelleher has been. I think it's something we've taken for granted, but yeah, he's fucking brilliant. But again, like someone said in the chat, you're only worth as much as someone's willing to pay for you, and if Forest bid is ridiculous.
Yeah. Brian says there, Forest tried to get Kelleher in a swap there for Matt Turner and a packet of Tato. It felt a little bit
Not
like that.
far off, yeah.
Touch on a couple
Just
of players.
give us the Tato, for fuck's sake.
Just give us the Tato. You can keep
I want the other fella.
It's a multi-pack, a 12-pack multi-pack. You know, with the different flavours, Keith. You know,
yeah.
I'm into that. You know,
Smoky bacon and all.
Yeah.
Do we still make smoky bacon?
yeah,
crisps? Are they
smoky
still a
bacon,
thing?
cheese and onion, salt and vinegar. 12-pack, yeah, you can get them.
Okay.
They're going around the gaff.
Yeah.
But touch on a couple of players from yesterday, and I'm going to start with this player because he usually gets a mention at the end. He usually gets a big mention, but I'm going to talk about him now. And Keith, I'll come to you first. Ryan Gravenberch. He just keeps doing it. You know, during the week, I thought he was exceptional in Milan, absolutely exceptional. And yesterday, he wasn't far off that again. And look, we love the way he drops his shoulder. We love the way he kind of strides away from people. His passing range seems to be coming on all the time. But Keith, the big thing for me at the minute is, for a guy that's playing the deepest the majority of the time, he's having this knack, and I don't even know if it's a knack, it's probably trained into it, it's being coached into him, of being in the right place when Liverpool aren't on the ball. And that's a skill in itself. We bang on about defensive-minded midfielder or protective midfielders over the years where they always seem to be in the right place, they fill the right areas. And we're seeing more and more of that from him every week.
Yeah, I'm very surprised at how he's developing, to be honest. I liked him as a player. I just didn't see him as maybe the solution to what we were looking for in midfield. And at the moment, it's like he's one of the best in the league. You know, on current form, if we're being honest about it, he's been absolutely exceptional. He wins his battles. He wins his duels, whether it's on the ground, whether it's in the air. He's got a consistently high passing accuracy percentage, and sometimes passing accuracy can be a bit misleading. You know, if it's a defender and they're just popping it into a central midfielder, or if it's a deep line central midfield player and he's just getting it and facilitating the others, you know, they'll have a high percentage because they're not doing anything risky. But with Gravenberch, he goes in and he makes risky passes as well. He's doing the whole lot of it, and he's still coming out consistently high numbers. I think he's been brilliant. I think it's been like I might have said it before. It's like when you go on a night out and then you find a tenner in your jeans pocket the next day that you didn't know you had, and you just find this player, and he's right. We paid a few quid for him, but we were crying out for this player in the summer, and we all wanted Zubamendi and thought we'd get Zubamendi because we thought his profile would fit what we want. Still think we'll get Zubamendi, to be honest, but I think Gravenberch now has just come and shown that, look, bring in Zubamendi, but he'll be playing with me, not instead of me, and that's a great position to be in, because how long do we give it before we say, yeah, this isn't just a flash in the pan? Do you know what I mean? Because it's been, 3-4 league games, Champions League, and he's consistently doing it. So I think it's promising signs. Hopefully he keeps it up. He'll have bad games as well, and once people accept this, he will have bad games. I think sometimes we can fall into a trap of, waiting for the bad game to come and then shooting them down. Endo, an example. People were waiting on Endo to be shit because it justified the fact that they weren't excited by bringing him in the first place. You know what I mean? And I don't want the same thing to happen to Gravenberch. I think he's a good player. He's a very young player. You forget how young he is. You think he's older than he is, and he's more experienced. He's a young guy, and he's developing nicely. And I think we found the gem. I thought he was excellent yesterday.
A few people say there's a little bit of background noise. I think he might be playing through Seany's speaker on whatever he's on, but we'll sort it out in a second. Seany, I'll come to you. So as Seany mutes himself, I'll get him to unmute himself. Seany, I'll come to you with Gravenberch, and you look at McAllister and you look at Szoboszlai, and they seem to be the absolute main three. But it's not, like Keith said, see how it develops, and how long do we say before it's a flash in the pan and stuff. It doesn't look like something where he's decided, I'm throwing Gravenberch in there because I didn't get Zubamendi, and if I get Zubamendi in January, I'm just going to take Gravenberch out. This feels like something that they've looked at, they've landed on, and they've decided he's really fucking good at it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we should go and sign a midfielder, but he seems to be the one where this is I don't want to use the word project, but this is really something where they've landed on something and this has massive potential.
Yeah, well, obviously they have the lads who crunch the numbers and look at skill sets and stuff and probably said, oh yeah, well, it's possible he can do a job in there, but look, harder tests will come down the road for Ryan Gravenberch, but you can only go on what you've saw so far, and he's passed every test so far with flying colours. He's been our best player this season. Him and Diaz have both been our best performing players, and he's a joy to watch. And it's like, I think whoever it is who's coaching him, whether it's Slot or someone who's come in, it's like they just said, come here, listen, you're 6'4" you're an absolute fucking animal. You should be barreling into tackles and dominating midfield games and using your physique, because he didn't do it last year. We've seen some games from him when he was lovely on the ball last year, but he looked a bit timid off the ball. And I think that can happen, especially with lads who have...
He beat Liao out of the fucking San Siro near the end of the game, didn't he? Just told him to fuck off.
Do you know what? It's like, in the last... And I don't... Like, people... I'm going pure Barclays, man, here, but it's like looking at Moussa Dembele that played for Spurs. Just someone who's...
Ratio.
Technically gifted, use that body very well, look like a fucking nightmare to play against, press them too hard and he pop around you with a bit of skill, go shoulder to shoulder and he just bully you off the ball. Like you said, we've seen his passing range, we've seen a few of the highlight reels, but he's doing the dirty work as well, and I think that's kind of what was required from the player that we needed in there. Look, he's fast becoming one of the more important players in this team, in this system, because he's metronomical as well in terms of just taking her over, and I actually think him and McAllister, they dovetail lovely together. I think that it really works well together, and he's doing his job and he's disciplined. And to be honest with you, like you have to look at and listen to what people who are closer to him are saying to him as well, and it does seem like the fucking penny droppers dropping him as if to say, come here, listen, look, you're fucking... players like you are a dime a dozen who have all the ability in the world and just go by the wayside and end up playing that football for Feyenoord or somewhere else in Europe, or fucking end up in Rome, or just fucking trucking along when you could have been this, that, and the other. Like the likes of Paul Pogba's and all and stuff. What happened to him? And I think the penny is dropped for him, as if to say, okay, if I do knuckle down and apply myself here, I can genuinely be one of the standout talents in European football. And we've already seen he's putting in man of the match performances for club and country so far this season. And once he stays fit, I don't see why it won't continue, because it's not like a kind of a purple patch thing. It seems like it's just dawned on him now that, okay, I can do this and I am a bit the man, like I am the fucking man. And he owes it to himself. Van der Vaart got balled there for years for turning around going, what's everyone going mad about this Bellingham fella for? I'm telling you now, the lad Gravenberch is off the chain, and he's famously harsh on players who he doesn't rate. So yeah, look, the shining light of the season so far in its infancy, for me, he's been fucking excellent. He's a pleasure to watch. He's an absolute pleasure to watch. I actually said that with a Dutch accent there, like I was fucking Damon Dempsey singing the song. Absolute pleasure.
At least it wasn't American. Emma would have freaked out.
Yeah. Was seeing absolutely every side to his game at his best. He goes away to Old Trafford. He's gliding around the place. He's taking the piss out of them, and you see him the weekend flicking balls over heads and just he's gliding around, and he has a bit of that swagger, and I love to see it, because I think I've explained before, I do have a penchant for the longer-legged footballers who have technical ability up the wazoo. To be honest with you, it's something that gets me really going.
Peter Crouch Ultras.
Yeah, it gets me horny, to be honest with you. Just
something like a big tall number 6.
Long legs.
Just that saying, great fee for a big fella, is just, give us a look at him. Where is he? What's he look like? Ryan Gravenberch signed me up. I'm gonna watch his I done a 2-hour standing ovation for his every touch Ryan Gravenberch pass map CF comp on Twitter earlier with European dance music. So it's an extra large thumbs up from me for the lanky fella.
Yeah. Emma, Sam says there, only question mark with Gravenberch I had was, does he have the mindset to defend and sniff danger? And he's been brilliant at that so far. And I love the way he moves with the ball. I like the way he passes the ball, protects it. I'm loving the fact he's getting more physical with the opposition. He's just going, listen, I'm just taking you off the ball here. Good luck, But that's probably the thing that stood out to me the most, because it is something that everyone was looking at. Can he fill the spaces? Can he make interceptions? Can he spot a runner, going beyond them and making sure he tracks that and stuff? And that's what's impressed me the most of all. I'm not saying he's been great at all the stuff, but he seems to be just in the right pockets here, picking up the ball, intercepting, and then at times moving, at times hitting good passes, and at times just going, here, you take that ball there and you go and do the business. That's been really impressive from him.
Yeah, his decision making is very good as well. You have to remember that, like, he came from Bayern Munich where he wasn't getting a sniff because they said he couldn't play in a 2-man midfield. He came to Liverpool late in the window last summer, so he didn't even have a pre-season with Liverpool. And then he gets he's in and out, and then he gets an injury. It's really his first run of games. Like, you could see there was the makings of a player. We all knew there was the makings of a player before he arrived, but even while playing for Liverpool, you could see how well he looked on the ball. But Seany's right, he looked timid. He didn't want to go into a challenge. Now and I wouldn't even say it's aggression. He's just using his size. He's leaning into people, pushing them off the ball, and like I said, his decision making. He's spraying passes like Trent at one stage yesterday. He did it for the Dutch during the international break. It's just, I think he's probably been man of the match in 4 of our 5 games, possibly. Maybe not yesterday. I have another man of the match for yesterday, but he's a lovely footballer to watch. I won't mention his legs. I won't say I'm getting horny. I'll leave that to Seany. But yeah, Look, he's this season's Kwanzaa, isn't he? Really?
Yeah.
Ashley says, Ashley says, is there such a thing as a long leg fetish? Listen,
You
stick
can
around.
fetish
Listen.
boys
That can't
anything,
be
yeah.
that can't be what he's
No,
laughing
he's
at.
laughing at something else.
lads,
No.
I'm laughing. I'm only had to get reminded that Todd dyslexic. All the boys in Parliament in Ghana going mad over Harry Maguire.
Yeah, I remember that.
Thor says Van der Vaart hates Harry Maguire, but the Ghanaian finance minister hates Harry Maguire more. Economic Maguire is too funny. Look, I thought I'd give that player a mention early because he usually gets left to close to the end.
Before we move off from staying on Seany's fetish for long leg players with tight shorts, did anyone see the anti of that today in the Forest game? Your man Murillo, the centre back, to see his shorts? Fucking hell. He's a short arse centre back. So he's only about 6 foot. His shorts would be hanging off me. Google it. Murillo's shorts today, they were fucking ridiculous. Things went down to his shin guards. Absolutely horrendous carry on. He would not make Seany's list.
By the way, this fucking Gravenberch thing is ground legs. I never said anything about toy shorts. Now, don't get ahead of yourself. That's a bit.
That's just creative license.
It's ground legs now, for want of a better term. But we do everything here, don't we? It's oh my God, look at him. He looks like he's going to start garden playing Kevin Durant or something. Look at the
he looks like he's had to have it on accident.
Scouser Pete says Seany needs the Gravenberch compilation video set to the body rockers. I like the way you move. There you go for suggestions.
Listen,
round of applause in the Lawson household.
Yeah, look, listen, I'm all for ableism on this channel, and we love a nippy Carpathian as much as we love a long-legged baller. So we don't discriminate.
We don't,
No, we don't. Well, we do. We discriminate against everyone. At times, we just hate everybody at times. But we like it.
We
like
loads of people. We don't hold it
well.
against them.
Yeah,
we don't hold it against them.
Keith, Luis Diaz. We all know during the summer a lot of people wanted him gone. For different reasons. Output.
More so than that.
Goals. Output. Lack of goals. Is that, Barcelona being linked heavily, and then a lot for different reasons. People are like, look, he might go, blah, blah, but he hasn't. And he looks like the Luis Diaz that turned up in January 22, I think it was, when he signed with Liverpool, where he's just go out and play, Lewis. Go out and just run amok. Not quite running amok, but he's found a spot on this side where they're getting him closer to goal. He's more of a threat. And when he goes running at teams, he's finding himself in really good positions and he's making good decisions. He gets 2 goals there yesterday, Keith. One ball over the top, great touch, goal. Second one, really patient, waits for it to come to him, slips it under Kepa. And I think that might be 5 league goals in 5 games from him. And it's absolutely brilliant to see from him because we know what player is in there. And Slot seems to have said, stop standing out on the fucking sideline, get involved in this and get yourself closer to goal. And when you get him closer to goal, he's fucking dynamite.
He is. A lot of people were a bit disparaging of him. Or not, of him a bit. Like, they couldn't understand why Liverpool Slot makes changes and Gakpo doesn't come in for Diaz. It's just a bit harsh on Gakpo that he's playing in Diaz's position because I think he's the form striker or the form forward that we have at the moment, and you have to just ride him as much as possible at the moment.
Jesus.
It's a racy one tonight, isn't it? Didn't mean it like that. I mean, you have to go with it for as long as possible.
I'm gonna have to get that graphic that comes up in the pictures, where it's signed by the Irish Film Federation as 15.
If this goes out the transcript, to be a few semicolons doing a bit of heavy lifting, definitely at stages, and a few full stops.
Yeah,
be a lot of shit in brackets.
Yeah.
You know what? I liked the goals yesterday. I thought the first goal was excellent because he anticipated and he finished it lovely. But the second goal was the one that impressed me because he took it on his left. He plays on the left, we know that, and he always had this thing maybe last year, and I've gave out about this before on the show. You know, he's going wide and he's always cuts in onto the right foot. And sometimes it comes off and he gets great goals, and other times it's not. And I was delighted he just took that on his left and just smashed it in. He started last season off well, goal scoring as well, didn't he? And then his parents got kidnapped, probably an unprecedented, and the Spurs robbery as well. So it's probably a bit of a bad season for him that you can't really quantify the effects of. But
The dad's behaviour when he came back was the worst bit.
Stop. We don't see him much anymore, which is good. The club probably blaming.
I don't actually think that the Secret Services in Colombia released him. I think the fucking cartel just got a pain that bollocks for him and said, "Bring him back. He's doing my fucking head in."
What's he still doing here? I told you to get rid of him. Yeah. Awful man.
Ring a steel around within a 1 mile radius of Anfield. Now he's just not out near the place. He's down in the Flatiron having points at Carl and going, "Oh, let me up to the ground."
Getting lardy.
Yeah.
But that's good. I think that was needed. I think everyone shared me frustration with that. You know what I mean? Missed Papa Diaz there, bleeding, dancing in the stands and all sorts of nonsense with him. And then, in all seriousness, like, he is the one, and this is a Latin American and maybe a European thing as well, they talk up the Barcelonas and the Real Madrids, and you just have to accept that. I think at times when you sign these players that maybe they do see these as the destination clubs, but when the outflug's going on about it and PSG and things like that, and you're like, shut him up, right? Shut that fucker up and let the young flicker on and play his game. Because I've always liked Diaz. I think he's been a good player. But we're starting to see output, which was the big criticism I think everyone had of him. Like I said, he started well last season and then fell off a cliff. This season he started well. Let's see, can he continue it? Because I felt he was probably our best attacker last year as well, but he just wasn't getting the goals. You know what I mean? Like, he was working his arse off and not getting the reward for it. But look, if he keeps up with this, let's see what we can get out of it, because Mo Salah's looking comfortable at the moment. Jota and Nunez both have their flaws. They're good players. Gakpo's a good player. Chiesa looks like he could offer something as well. So we've got an exciting front line that, well, we need to manage it. We do need to stick with what's working at the moment, and that's Diaz for me.
Shawnee, when it comes to Diaz, like, even he gets the 2 goals yesterday, but some of the runs he makes, like, because he's not stuck out on that wing all the time, like out, chalking his boots sort of winger. When he actually does end up out there, they don't know what to do with him, because last season you go, right, Diaz going to get it here and he's going to kind of shepherd you down the left hand side and he might try cut inside you. But now he's like, there was one run yesterday where he gets it wide, comes inside a fella, and you think he's going to go inside again. He doesn't, pulls it onto his left and goes outside, and next thing he's teared into the box and players can't touch him. Because he's moved a little bit, Shawnee, it's actually added, I think, massive variation to his game and has put second thoughts into defenders' minds. And he's very hard to stop when he gets going, because he's very quick-footed. He's quick over the ground. He's just a really good player that seems to have found a slot where you just go in there and play. And, it's there. Brian says he scored 8 league goals last season. He's 5 in 5 this season. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's going to score fucking 38 league goals, but if he can go from 8 to 20 league goals, it's a massive improvement on where he's been for the last 12 months.
If you guarantee me now 20 goal contributions between now and the end of the season, I'd be delighted with him, because I think that's exactly what he's done. I think what happened with Diaz was, I think he joins in January and Klopp just kind of drops him in and says, "Come here, have a go, do your thing," and eventually he became part of the system. And then I don't think the system actually suited him, because instead of becoming an inside forward, which I think he's way better at, because you see the amount of headed goals he's getting, he gets a lot of headed goals for Colombia. He became more of an out and out winger for Liverpool under Klopp in the team, and I don't think it really suited him, because he was receiving the ball closer to the byline than he was to the edge of the 18 yards. And I just think it makes such a big difference to how teams have to set up to play against them, where you could probably leave him one-on-one with a winger and shepherd him down the side, because he is fair. Like you said, he pulls at the one with his left foot yesterday and scores. He is I'm not going to say he's one-dimensional, but he's way better, obviously, on a stronger foot. Like, it's not a case of where, like, a player like Nani, where you didn't know what way he was going to go. He could use either side, and he had that kind of string to his bow. But he's playing as more of an inside forward now, and his link-up play is great. And yeah, he's absolutely flying. And again, look, we take the piss out of the outlet and all, but you can't imagine the kind of the trauma that it'd have on you and trying to play. And to his credit, he played through it last year. He didn't miss many games. I reckon he could have probably pulled out altogether if he really wanted, and I don't think anyone would have had any grievances with that. He has a really bad injury the year before, so it's kind of been stop-start. And all the shite is outlet talked. I have to say, my respect for him grew massively in the summer when he turned around and said, "Look, I don't want to go to Barcelona. I'm happy here. I'm happy at Liverpool, and I can't wait to get going under the new manager." And he did say that. You know what I mean? So I'm absolutely delighted with him. I think Mao has been quietly brilliant, to be honest with you. He hasn't been great the last few games, but you look at Mao's numbers. Mao is doing what Mao does. But 5 goals and an assist for Diaz in the first 5 league games is a fucking phenomenal return, and long may it continue. And I think the rocket he probably would have gotten the other night from being left on the bench for Gakpo, who I think actually goes and probably has his best game in the Liverpool shirt for us the other night. It just means that you see what happens when you have that competition for places. It breeds, like they say, iron sharpens iron, and like competition breeds like consistency and excellence throughout. And that's exactly what having someone like Gakpo will do there. And you've Keating win here and play there now, so it's kind of, and Slot at Feyenoord showed that, listen, if you're not on it, you're not going to fucking play. And I think that sort of meritocracy means that you'll get the best out of your squad. So long may it continue with Diaz. He's been absolutely fucking excellent. His finishing seems to have gone to another level. His finishing's been brilliant. The one yesterday is Mane Suarez-esque, the first one. And the second one is just, I'll just tuck her under you like I'm an off the shoulder striker. And then his second goal at United is a fucking beauty. So I'm absolutely delighted with him, and it's great we're getting the best out of him. And the talk is now that the club really want to nail him down and give him another contract. So look, it's similar to Gravenberch. It's all gravy in terms of fucking Luis Diaz at the moment. And long may it continue.
Yeah, and I think,
and like Gravenberch, he was, as we said, one that we, two of them were players that we may have mentioned as ones that you could possibly move on, yet they're the ones stepping up. So it's, it's brilliant.
And I think it's, if he was out wide, really wide, and he had 4 or 5 goals, you'd be kind of going, yeah, he'll get that, be streaky, that'll go away. But I think this is something where you look at and you go, this is something different. And it can be continued on, and it can be improved. It doesn't feel very kind of, it's just that guy that plays really wide that happens to be in a good position every now and then. Like if you look at the goals he scores, he's in the middle of the goal. For more or less, well, not one yesterday, the first one. He's in the middle of the goal against United for the second one. He's heading one in at the back post against United. Like it's not like they're off the wing, cutting inside, bend them in the corners and stuff like that. It's definitely something different, and there's proof there that this change of whatever they've done with him, and it's a bit obvious what they've done with him, but it can be kept up. Like
I just think the system suits him, and look that can just be it. Like because he was brilliant when he first came in, because he was just dropped in and he was dynamite, and it was a bit of a wild card. But like, it's okay to say that Slot system might suit some players better than Jurgen's system did, and the flip side of it is doesn't work with Endo. It may not work with Jota or Nunez, but players like Gravenberch will flourish in the system. Players like McAllister will flourish in the system. Szoboszlai will flourish. Like it is about that, and I just think like sometimes we can overcomplicate it and talk a lot of shit on podcasts, and you hear like tacticals fucking breaking it down, and he's in his expected position for expected headers and expecting Damien Dempsey fucking concert tickets or whatever shite they want to pedal out or field tilt. Sometimes a system just suits a player better than the one he played in previously, and I think it can be just kind of dumbed down to that, if I'm being honest.
Emmet, was mentioned there with regards to Gakpo and stuff like that, and I think it might have been Seany said there, you know, the rocket he gets by not starting in Milan. I get where Seany's coming from. I'm not too sure if it's a rocket. I think it's just a case of Slot going, listen, you are both really fucking good, and I'm going to use you both, and I'm going to leave us to it. And you might be brilliant this week, and you might be brilliant the next week. I'm going to have to keep swapping week on week, but you know, you're going to share that position. And we're going to go on to a shared position in a minute as well. But like the lad said, quality breeds quality and consistency and a healthy competition. You know, I don't want it to be, you know, and you know how it goes. Team fucking Diaz, team Gakpo. There's going to be all this shit now. Someone will come up with that because they're arseholes. But, you know what I mean? There's people there, or there's two people there, they're playing in that position, and one has a really good game on Wednesday night, a really fucking good game on Wednesday night, and then one comes in the weekend and scores two and has a really, really fucking good game as well. And there's no balance in it. You don't have to choose between them. Just let the manager pick the fella at the weekend, or pick the fella on Tuesday or Wednesday or fucking Friday, whatever day of the week it is, and leave them to it. It's great to have that.
Yeah, it's. I think we were only chatting. I don't know, it was the WhatsApp, the Telegram the other day, that like there's nothing worse than complacency in a team where the player thinks, I'm going to get picked, I'm going to play here anyway. And you probably saw that a couple of seasons back before we signed Jota. Bobby had kind of fallen off a bit. And then when he brought Jota in, Jota starts scoring, all of a sudden Bobby takes off again. And that's a good thing to have in a team, is competition for places. Now, we have a game on, it's Tuesday, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll probably see Gakpo playing that one. And that's grand. So Diaz gets a bit of a break, and then maybe he goes, or else Diaz plays on Tuesday and he puts Gakpo in next week. It's a good thing to have, but I don't think we have it in all positions. We're probably solid for the left striker, right hand side. Midfield is probably the only place where we've not really gonna have anybody push those three, to push them out of the team. They'll be taking it, like, nobody's probably going to be taken out for poor performances. Like, I don't see Diaz being dropped for a poor performance. I think Gakpo was supposed to start against Forest, but I think it was judged that Diaz was probably a little bit fitter, or probably judging on their load, or their playing load. But look, I think Diaz, when he first comes in, I agree fully with Seany. Like, he comes in and he's just told, do what you want to do. And then maybe Klopp's system gelded him a bit, and he did keep coming in on that. That was a frustration of mine. I thought that he had forgotten how to beat a player. And then since the start of this season, you're right, he shows to go in on the right, and then he cuts back onto his left, and he's getting in and around players. He didn't really do that last season. It was always coming in, taking shots, playing the pass. Now you don't know. He's unpredictable. And that's what he was like when he first came in. So whether it's a case that Slots told him, just play your game, and that suits my system, or I don't know. I wanted him gone in the summer as well, but only because I thought he wanted to go. If I thought that he was committed to the club, I wouldn't have wanted him gone. I thought
he wanted to go because, you know, South American, Barcelona, Real Madrid, that was kind of creeping up, but I didn't want him to go. I thought he'd go because of that sort of link and whatever else. 8 o'clock on Wednesday, of course, West Ham. I did say to you Tuesday, didn't I? It is Wednesday. I should know that because I have the fucking shows written out for the week. Just jumping on, I want to go on to the forwards, and I want to get on to West Ham on Wednesday. But Seany, I'll start with you. We had a big discussion earlier over Darwin Nunez and where he is and where other strikers are, and you know, I enjoyed it. I have to be honest with you, I enjoyed it. But yesterday, Darwin Nunez starts his first game this season. I think it's his first start of the season. He's okay. He's okay. He does some good things. He obviously the goal and stuff like that. The goal's brilliant. But I suppose the bigger question here is, you know, he doesn't get a pre-season with Slot, right? He's probably been the forward that's got the least minutes, I think, across the first 5 or 6 games. They're obviously working on him. They're obviously getting him into the system or whatever else. But it's a brilliant goal yesterday, Seany. It's a brilliant goal. It's a lovely touch to Salah. He's on his bike. He cuts inside. He bends in the corner. brilliant. 1 or 2 he snatches at. When we were there against Brentford, we were quite impressed with how he held the ball and linked stuff and stuff like that. So they're trying to get him involved in that. But what does he need to do? Right? And probably what does Jota need to do? Because I was thinking back and I'm thinking to myself, I can't remember loads of chances Jota's had this season, even in games where we've won 2-0, 3-0, wherever it might be. What do these players need to do, or is it just a different role they have within the team?
I think the answer is different for both of them, to be honest with you. And I don't want to I don't want to frame it like I have any bias towards either one of them, because I think when we did have a discussion ourselves about it earlier, and I think we both came to the conclusion that maybe it's a position where we could probably do something in the summer and buy someone again, like we said, who that suits the system, because maybe Jota or Nunez aren't the answer. But I'll be honest when I say I think I've probably flip-flopped a little bit on Darwin Nunez since he's come in from Liverpool, and I've no problem admitting that, to be honest with you, because
he's hard to read. He's hard to read, is the word.
You see him doing stuff like he does yesterday, and you're just thinking, fucking hell, like, it's like, I said it earlier, it's like prime Batistuta. The flick on, doesn't break stride, lovely pass from Mo, stands up the defender and just whips in off the post, and you're thinking, fucking hell. But the problem I have with it is that there's been a few of them false dawns now with Nunez since he's come into Liverpool. And we'll start with the Newcastle away last year when he comes on and wins us the game with fucking 2 moments of brilliance, 2 absolute outrageous finishes. But I think Jota might be finding his way in the system, but I just think Darwin Nunez is 25, and I don't know how to say this without being harsh, but he looks like he's still finding his way as a footballer for me sometimes when I'm watching him, because his link-up play sometimes can leave a lot to be desired. The pass, I don't know, can't count how many times that pass he just tries to play short to either the fullback or the centre mid, and it's like a nervous pass, and he's just leaving it short all the time. I know the 3 is now the exact type of pass I'm talking about.
I know, yeah.
Where it's like he doesn't make contact with the ball. It's weird. It just looks like to me that every game he's playing looks like a cup final, because it just, the pressure, everything is 100 miles an hour and erratic, and that probably would have worked last year under Klopp's teams, and we seen the best out of him getting flick-ons. But the problem with me that is he consistently misses big chances. Now, he hasn't really done that this year because he hasn't had many, but he just seems too erratic. I think like someone just needs to let the air out of him a little bit. Like,
he's too emotional.
I'm going to be honest with you. I put my hand up and say, and I'm being deadly serious here, I don't think I've ever wanted a footballer to walk out at Liverpool as much in my life as Nunez. And I'd go to bat for him, but I just find myself now kind of going, no, I can't excuse it. The big chances missed, this, that, and the other. For me, it's shit I got off the pot now, really, for Darwin Nunez. And that probably seems a bit harsh on a lad who hasn't had as many starts. He gets a start yesterday and he scores. Fair play to him. But we're going to need to see more. Yeah. We're going to need to see more output. We're going to need to see a bit more roundness to his game, because, like we talked about earlier, control. I think he's the antithesis of control, and sometimes chaos is fucking required. But I fear he would be the prime target here to get left behind by this football team, by a player who's probably more accomplished with his back to goal and bringing other lads into goal. Yesterday does me fucking head in, because you can see them moments, the little sparkles and magic that he has. And if that was a consistent thing, Jesus Christ, you're literally talking of a fella who was out of this world class, like a unicorn of a footballer, because he's pace like you've never seen before. He's strong as a fucking ox, but his finishing leaves an awful lot to the side. And I actually got to a stage last year where I'm thinking, this fella might be actually way better off the left-hand side than he is down through the middle. And he's probably third in the queue now on the left-hand side, if I'm being totally honest. So,
probably fourth.
Look, yeah, I don't like digging out lads who play for the club and wear their heart in the sleeve. And he's a very, very emotional bloke. You seen him last year deleting everything off his Instagram after the Palace game, and it, I can't comprehend how difficult it must be to be in that sort of spotlight. But I just have to be honest and say, like, if he's gonna lead the line and win those titles, there's gonna be need to be a vast improvement in Darwin Nunez's output and his all round game. And I'm not sure how
Or,
many others feel about that, but I think that is probably a harsh critique, but I think breaking it down, it's just the truth with him. But fuck me, what a goal! And I hope it's not a case where the next goal now he doesn't score as a fucking the third goal in a 3-0 win at home to fucking Ipswich in December or whenever we played him. He has to score important goals at important moments because he hasn't really done that yet, barring Newcastle last year, I think. And people are in the chat are going to be pulling up his fucking transfer market and every goal he scored in this game and the other. I'd be quicker naming the bigger chances he missed, and that's just the way I am. He needs to do better. And if yesterday is the dawning of a new day, then fucking so be it. But I tell you what, I won't be holding my breath.
Keith, Seany makes very, very valid points, and it's a kind of, we're talking about their Gravenberch earlier, and we're talking about Diaz earlier, and we're kind of going, the change in fortunes for them, from the back end of last season to this season, and it suits them and stuff like that. Is it, and look, I'm as open as Seany about it. I think he does really well in his first season in a team that was honking, like, terrible. I think last season, I think he's really good up until February, and then everyone's wheels falls off, and he's massively in the spotlight because he does miss some glaring chances. But with this season, does it feel like a bit of a trial for him? He hasn't come in hitting the ground running. He's 5 goals in 5 and he's fucking flying. He hasn't had the pre-season. Is it a bit of one where Slot goes, I think there's something there, but I'm going to have to try really hard here to get something. But by the end of the season, I'm going to have to make a call on this guy. Is that where he is?
Yeah, look, I don't think we can continue. If it doesn't work from it doesn't happen from this season, I think I cash in on him. Like, I don't think there's going to be any, giving him a 4th season or anything like that. I think he's a player, and Seany touched on it there, and he's right. You remember the big misses. You can't get past the misses that he's missed because they've been some fucking easy chances that he just hasn't taken or that he's given up. It's not that he just misses it. He could be in front of the goal and he'll pass it when he should be shooting. His decision making has not been great. He scores some great goals, right? He does score some great goals. He's the total package that you want. As Seany says, he's big, he's fast, he's strong, he plays on edge, he's emotional, he's too emotional. We've seen that in the Bladen Copa America as well, hence why he has an international ban. He's liable to fly off the handle, and his game doesn't have the control that we think Slot is going to want, right? It's not in his game. But I don't think Jota has that either. So I think Jota's general play isn't great, but Jota takes the chances and Nunez doesn't. So if you're looking at the two of them, who's going to get picked? Unless he makes a decision that he's going to play him into form and see what he can do, it's going to be Jota. I think we could see a situation where Gakpo goes in ahead of the two of them after a while, if neither of them are doing the link-up play, the control play that Slot wants. But on Darwin Nunez, I think, he hasn't missed any chances this season, but he hasn't played. It's very few minutes. We can't say that that's out of his game, but until he hits a run of games where he's consistently scoring, and when he's, maybe gets 3 chances in a game and he's consistently getting a goal out of it, if he keeps missing big chances, people will never get past it, and the abuse will always be there, and he'll have his little strops where he's blacking out his social medias and things like that. I just think he's one that the ceiling on him, I think, could be huge, and that's the thing with him. It's, do you give up on a player that can go through and take it to the absolute next level, or what do you do with him? Do you stick with him and hope he gets there? And I think that's the conundrum they have, because, if you look at other top strikers out there, and the lads will know few names. You've got like Osimhen would have been banging in goals in Italy. You've got Gyökeres, where's he? Girona or no, Lisbon. Who else is that? Who else is big? You know, there's the Boniface at
Gyökeres stands out.
Leverkusen.
This lad Duran at Villa looks like he's gonna move because I don't think he's gonna hang around. Like that. Look, people are like, what about shows that something's not going well because people are going, what about Jota and what about Salah when he missed chance? Salah scored 40 goals a season in his sleep for the last the best part of a decade. So like, what we on about here? Like what we going on about? Jota, his conversion rate. If Jota was fit, if Jota hadn't got his injury problems, we probably would have never signed Darwin Nunez to begin with.
Yeah.
So look, you can't. You can have your opinion. You can back a player. You can fucking slate a player. But what can't be denied is that the sheer amount of big chances he's squandered, it needs to improve. And I always say about strikers, I'd actually be more worried about strikers who aren't getting in the position to score. But fuck me, he's just. It's got to be better. He has to improve, and there's been loads of false dawns, and hopefully this is not fucking another one.
I don't know if you know we talk about chances and stuff like that. I don't know if that's where Slot looks at the improvement though, because when I'm looking over, admittedly a small sample size, Jota, I'm thinking real chances, 4, maybe 4 in the first 4 or 5 games, and that's because the way we play, funny enough, is not. I don't think the way we play is actually funneled towards our centre forward getting heaps of chances. I think it's funneled towards our wide men getting plenty of chances, and the centre forward being used as not like a fucking decoy, a pawn, but we do seem to look for wide or guys backing up the striker to be the guys that get the chances. And listen, if he gets chances, he has to convert them. It's not like he's never going to get chances. If he gets 10, he needs to be putting 6 or 7 of them away. Do you know the sort of way? That's the sort of level that strikers in the Premier League need to be absolutely working at. The likes of Ollie Watkins, Haaland is off the fucking charts. Do you know what I mean? And that's where he should be. But Emmett, that's what I wanted to ask you before we finish on it. Is it a case of Slot looking going, listen, you're way too emotional. Stop fucking crying when you score. You know, stop jumping into the fucking stands and punching the head off Colombians. You know, calm fucking down. Don't worry about you have to go out there and score. You have to go there and score. Worry about getting the ball in, popping it off, linking with players, getting chances for whoever. I'm not looking for you to absolutely be, you know, a supplier and nothing else. But don't worry about it. You might get 2 chances and you'll score 1, but you might create 2 chances and they'll score 1 as well. And that's 2 goals in a game. Is that where Slot needs to approach this? You know, like someone said earlier, let the air out of him and go, listen, every time you get it, you don't have to lash it at the goal. But you might just need to improve on this area. And in turn, we'll provide you with 2 or 3 chances. If you take 1 or 2 of them, the progression and the finishing will come somewhere as well. And I know people will argue that's instinctive, can it be taught? But I think if you change a player's mindset into, you don't have to be in the middle of the goal all the time trying to score goals. If you're doing this, and this in the team, that's an improvement. Is that what Slot needs to do here?
Yeah, look, I think so. And you spoke on other pods with the way that Slot's centre forward played at Feyenoord, and you've just touched on it there as well. It's more so moving players out of the way for the players that are coming in from wide areas. He didn't have much of a pre-season, and I know I said this earlier on, and Seany blew it out of the water. Nunez came in, and Klopp had to try and mould him, and we saw the fruits of that last year, like you said, up on around about March time. But then everybody's wheels fell off, and now Slot comes in. He has so Klopp was more deploying him on the left, like you said, Seany, and I actually thought, geez, yeah, he's getting on better. He's probably a better player out there. Slot's come in now, and he's going to want to play him down the middle. So now he has to completely change again. And in a way, I kind of felt a little bit sorry for him. 100% he needs to finish more of the chances that he has. But I do think the player that came in versus the player that you saw playing yesterday, I know that the little pass that you were talking about, Seany, but other than that, I think sometimes his link-up play is good. He's getting back, he's making tackles. His all-round game is a lot better. I think if he had the finishing of Jota, or Jota had the all-round game of Nunez, I think you probably have the perfect striker that we want. But we just so happen to have Jota, who's great at finishing, probably is anonymous in games from time to time and will just pop up and score. You've got Nunez that'll do all the running around, but not finish his chances. I'm with Sean. I've never really wanted someone to succeed so much at Liverpool, but I wouldn't say I'm losing patience. I still think he comes good, but I don't know how long we give him to come good.
It feels like
I think this could be his season where you either come good or we need to get somebody else in.
It feels a bit like it's an audition for centre forward. You know, Chiesa comes on there, yes, he looks sharp, runs around like the happiest guy in the world, just running around Anfield like going, this is deadly, you know. Rattles one off the post, it's offside, but he just worked hard and he, you know, just business came on. Look, business like just.
When was the last time anybody was so happy to join Liverpool?
I've never. Robbie Fowler when he came back in 2007,
or even Ricky Lambert.
Ricky Lambert.
Ricky Lambert was delighted.
Still delighted. Club, all that. John Aldridge.
No, he was. Ricky Lambert had to listen to that waffler when he came into the Rodgers. He hated him.
No, I think it's Robbie Fowler when he comes back in 2006, was it?
There's a few
just the way he talks about joining. Sorry, go on.
Chiesa hasn't stopped bleeding. The interview I could have told him yesterday, there's a shit Sambo in the dressing room there and you're finished, and he's just smiling and laughing at him, like, you know, the great bit of stuff, like. But now just on Nunez, like, people in the chat and all saying, "I'll give him a chance to dig him out." Look, listen, I'm speaking about my own opinion. You can't tell me there's no fucking credence to it. I'm just basically going off what we've seen. I'd love him to bang 40 and I'd shut my mouth and I'd put my hand up and say I was wrong. But you can only go over what we've seen so far. I'm not saying him over Jota as Jota over him. They both need to be better. They both need to be better. And like, I think we've all come to an agreement here that, like Diaz being in the same boat last year, the productivity and the output just has to go up. I love Darwin. He's hard on his sleeve. There's so much to like about the fella, but he needs to fucking relax. Give him a Xanax or something, or one of them CBD pens or something.
Fucking Proclaimer CD. Just give him a Proclaimer CD. Yeah. He'd be fucking
Ricky Lambert is probably selling CBD at this stage, so he can probably hook him up.
Was he into water at some stage? He was banging into water or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He went them
didn't he?
What?
I think he went a bit like Matt Letizia at one point.
I think he was going on about water, something to do with water. Anyway, one of
John Aldridge is banging out the CBD on Twitter, isn't he?
Who?
Yeah.
John Aldridge is banging out the CBD.
Yeah, sure, you know, although Jesus, he's making a fortune of it. One of Keith's fans met him during the week, apparently, because it says, "Lads, this is from Ash. It's my birthday. Looking for a shout out. Never miss a show. P.S. Keith, I'm the Ash whose kids got in a photo with you recently." Where was this, Keith?
I spoke about this before.
Was it on a bridge?
No, it was at a football match.
Oh, right. Okay.
Football match.
Okay.
Yeah. Keith had to put that comment in off his burner.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm waiting to open Facebook one day, and you know the way you can get a personalised message for your birthday from footballers, and Keith just there going, "I'll send you a message, bud." In a Scottish accent.
Keith up his tires now.
Jesus, Keith Duffy's up and up, isn't he? He used to have a grey head of hair, that Keith Duffy fella. What's going on?
How are you, buddies?
No, Ash is... I was out at a match and our husband came over and introduced the kids and asked me to get in a picture with the kids, and very, very, I didn't know what to do, you know what I mean? Like, it's...
You put your best smile on, you get in the photo. That's what you done.
These poor kids are like, who is this fucker? Who is this big baldy man standing behind us getting a picture? So I felt sorry for the kids. But,
why are we in a park getting a picture taken with
this strange man?
Fantastic.
But, you know,
We should do that. We should just go around to football matches at the weekend and ask people at them, do you want a picture with Keith?
That be frowned upon. You. I don't think you'll last long doing that.
We'll put a disclaimer on the start of the video for fuck's
The
sake.
Proclaimer.
Do you want a picture with the Proclaimer's #1 fan?
He'll sing for you. Throw 10 cents at his feet and he'll sing the
And
Proclaimer.
then they go, who was it? They go, him over there. And then Keith just gives the little nod. How are you?
Oh, they knew who you
know
were.
those how he is from 50 yards away? It always looks a bit weird.
That's what
You've
said
no
there, they knew
idea
who
that
you
how
were.
uncomfortable I am now. People let kids watch the show. This show, my Jesus.
Well, we do state on YouTube that it's not made for kids, and it's definitely not made for people with no sense of humour. So if you're either of those, knock it off now. There's no fucking point. Anyway, we better go. But anyway, during the week we play West Ham in the League Cup. Lads, is anybody going away from the fact that we should be changing as many as possible of those 11 that started yesterday? Like, I'm talking Yaros in goal, because we don't know what's going on with Alisson, right? Bradley, Simicas, Kwanzaa, Gomez. Curtis Jones, Morton or Trainaioni, somewhere along them lines. Endo, Chiesa, Gakpo, Nunez, something along that. Are we?
I mean, that's still a strong team when you name it out like that. It is still a strong for the League Cup.
Yeah. Are we all right? Are we all okay with that? We don't have to get massively into it. Are we all okay with that?
Yeah.
You know, if you
Maybe
win,
not
you win. If
Yarrow.
you don't, you don't.
I think he'll start Kelleher.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. City Arsenal match, lads, says Brian. 2-2. Finished 2-2, Brian. Did you not see it? It finished 2-2. Arteta.
What a wanker.
6-7 fucking centre halves he used. People are going on about the sending off. He's a fucking idiot, Trossard. And don't get me wrong, there's players off City kicking the ball away, but two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I mean? The referees are just terrible. But if they spot you and you boot it away like that, they're going to do somebody in the game. They are terrible because there's players kicking the ball away during that game and they should be booked for it. And they aren't. Doku being one of them, right? But Trossard goes up, plows into a fella, ball drops, and then he runs after it and boots it fucking 60 yards away when he clearly knows the whistle's gone. Fucking idiot. Arsenal were really impressive though, I have to say. I think it might have went down as one of Arsenal's biggest wins in 20 years, and I mean that. I think it would have been a massive, massive turning point in Arsenal's whole cycle.
I'm with Roy Keane on it.
I didn't listen to him.
He said that Arsenal weren't great. Yoke was shy. Like, and he did. He fucking rolled Mika Richards up and put him in the ball. Oh, they were unbelievable defensively. They conceded 2 goals. Yeah, a defensive massacre. Like, they conceded 2 goals. Yeah, they wrapped Haaland up. We scored. Haaland scored. Conceded from a short corner.
Michael Richards is an awful messer, isn't he?
But he was right though, and when I actually, it completely changed my opinion on the game after listening to Keane, because he was like, City done nothing. They were missing De Bruyne. They passed the ball side to side on the edge of the box for 80 minutes. Ruben Diaz had more touches than any player.
Ruben Diaz was playing as a number 10.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was fucking ridiculous.
They're both shy. Liverpool are winning the league. That's why I look at it.
But the overreaction to Arsenal, like, they just didn't want to play. They went out and just fucking didn't want to know. Just kick Rodri out of the game. That was the plan. It looks like he's out. Could be out for the season. Has anyone heard that on the ACL or the cruise shit? Like,
it looks like the L.
Listen, I'm sure there's probably 200 to 300 people now on Twitter telling you that they done a fucking knee course and knee ligaments there during the week, and now they can tell you exactly what's going on. He's done it in Foss.
Rivalry aside, I hope he's not, because in my opinion, he's been the best player in the world for the last 2 years.
I think he should get the Ballon d'Or this year.
In my opinion, and I don't, even though he plays for them, I actually like a lot of what he has to say, and he looks like he was going to be the one to spearhead coming out against all these fucking and there you go. And that happens from being tired. Your ACL goes from being tired. Them little things happen like that from being... It was a non-contact, it looked like. So I wish him all the best, to be honest with you, because Rodri is one of them fellas who strikes me as, he plays for Man City, but he's sound. The same way I actually look at Kevin De Bruyne, because I actually think Kevin De Bruyne is sound as
I
well.
did used to think Kevin De Bruyne sound, but now I look the way he's growing his hair, and I just
You're not into the hair?
Nah.
I've
Yeah,
no
look,
comment
listen.
on this. Be highly
Yeah,
hypocritical.
You've no skin in this game, Keith.
Do you know what? I didn't have a horse in that race either this morning of that game today, but thank fuck Arsenal didn't win that, because I'm genuinely they would have been writing books about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
it would have played Mikel Arteta in the film. That's what I want
Just
to
your
know.
man off Lego City on Netflix.
Yeah. He's an awful shy bag, isn't he?
Every time my uncle watches Lego City, and every time it comes on, I just go, "There's Mikel," and I just leave the room.
Did you see Haaland bouncing the ball off Gabriel's head after the score?
Yeah. I hope he gets a 6-game
Yeah.
ban.
And what about him asking that young? Did you see the academy young running over and trying to strail out him? And Haaland's looking around. And he just goes, "Who the fuck are you?"
Anyway, it was a good result of Liverpool, because it keeps us right in touch with them, and I know it's only 5 games in, but we better go, because we fucking way over time there. We're having such a nice time though.
Great time, man.
Emma, anything else before we go?
No, all good.
Oh, good. Seany, anything else before we go?
No, all good. That I actually have to say, considering I started with saying Liverpool was shy after 3-0 win, I enjoyed that podcast way more than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's because you fucking start going on about your mad fascination with Ryan Gravenberch's long legs, which is fantastic.
I just love a lanky baller. What can I say? Johan Gorkov, Zidane.
Likes what he likes. He likes what he likes.
I am what I am.
Yeah.
Keith, anything else before we go?
No. I'll tell you another time. I was severely hungover today. I was out at a mate's 40th last night. It was at an Oktoberfest.
That's why I listened to the Proclaimers today.
Yeah, entertainment was 2 drag queens, so it was an experience.
What buddy?
They were, yeah, you'd have been into them, put that way. 6 deuce with a big set of pins on both of them. So, yeah, they would have been right up your street. But, yeah, it was a bit of a mad night.
Yeah.
tick.
Seany throwing more deltas at them going, here, if you can ping that now, you never know your luck.
Well, how did me just shout up onto the stage? How's your touch?
There was a few loose balls, and anyway, from where I was sitting, we won't judge them on that.
Great fee for a big man. Seany just sitting in Oktoberfest shouting that for 4 hours solid.
Ashley, shame on you letting your kids watch this. Yeah, absolute boyball.
Love it.
Yeah, listen.
A boy, a girl as well. Let that young one. She's only about 7. She watches it.
Yeah.
But in fairness, our husband Ross did tell me that they sort of they don't let them watch this live, this nonsense. So this will probably have to be filtered for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't. You have to let them. They have to grow up at some time, Ash. You have to let them watch and listen to the real world.
Yeah,
this is what's happening in the real world.
Well, if they listen to this one, they're gonna have like opinions on accents while they're rapping, and the fact that the music industry's gone to shy. If you're 6'3" and you can kick a ball, Seany's all over you. If you don't sing the song in a proper accent, Keith doesn't want to fucking know. That's where we are at the moment. And if you keep listening to me, you'll be on 20 smokes by the end of the week. So that's how it goes.
What a time to be alive.
Just about.
That
has been the Talkin Kop for Sunday night. Liverpool are going to win the league. Man City are brutal. Arsenal have fucking 11 centre halves. They're not winning fuck all. That's been it. Talk to you in a bit. Over and out.